Hi Capricorn, welcome to your March Celtic Cross reading. We're going to start out with a pre-shuffled oracle card. I was shuffling them on camera, but it just takes too long. The descriptions are too long, so I'm doing that ahead of time. So the card I picked for you, ooh la la, sexuality. And this card is about respecting sexuality, not being prudish about it, but not being whatever the opposite of prudish is. Attitudinally. Just saying we can misunderstand sexuality, and if we have a relationship that only has sexuality, the relationship will wither. Sexuality has an honored and sacred place along with intimacy and connection and emotions. Let's see if there's anything else that it calls to me. Basically talking about respecting sexuality. Interestingly, this guidebook, this is the True Love Oracle. It says to give time before entering into a sexual union, and then it says the time is usually like 1 month, which seems a bit prescriptive to me. But the message still stands. Sexuality is beautiful. Sexuality is a part of a healthy romantic relationship. That being said, it is a part. There are other aspects of it. And all of these aspects form a greater whole when we connect to another person in that way. That being said, the devil is randomly at the bottom of the deck, which is your card, Capricorn, and also can be a card of intense sexual attraction. Whew, I don't know if I'm ready for this reading. Seems like it's gonna be a sexy reading. Okay, can I get the cards for Capricorn, please? I don't pull jumpers by the time I'm done with the reading. I have so many cards on the table. It could be too much. So the cards that want to come out make their way to the top. And that's that. All right, what's the current situation for Capricorn? The World. You're ending a cycle. Wow, that's big. That's big for a current situation. No pun intended. It's your own fault, Capricorn. You pulled sexuality. You had the devil. Okay, this is huge. You are ending a cycle. One aspect of your life is ending and a new one is beginning. Wow. Crossing that is the Six of Swords. So you'll hear a lot of people say moving on to calmer waters. It's also about transition. You are trying to navigate the space between that liminal space, that undefinable space between a cycle that ended and a new one that's beginning. So you're just struggling with the transition right now. Maybe I don't want to say losing track of yourself, but understanding who it is that you are. And I mean, one of the really exciting things about like starting at a new school or moving to a new place is like nobody knows you, and so you get to decide who you want to be. You get to recreate yourself. And so now the struggle is like what quote unquote baggage do I want to bring with me into my new life? What's important for me to bring on, and what do I want to leave behind? I just finished Virgo, and Virgo also had like a really strong, confident reading. I like it. In your influencing energy, King of Swords, Capricorn, you're approaching life very analytically. King of Swords can be a little bit rigid, a little bit serious. Very intellectual, very driven by logic. I have a problem with that. I'm a fire sign driven by passion. And so I will always be the one to point out that we cannot live life by logic alone. One day I'll actually look up how to say his name because I am embarrassed that I just say it weirdly. Descartes? I don't know. In the book Descartes' Error, in the introduction, Descartes is the one who said mind and matter, did the mind-body split, all of that. In the introduction to the book Descartes' Error, the author says that we cannot live solely by emotions, and we also cannot live solely by logic. We need both. Right now, influencing energy is very logic driven, and I think that's part of why Six of Swords is in your challenged position, because you're trying to logically create this new version of yourself. And some things just don't fit in logic. I mean, we can't forget that you pulled sexuality as the first card. If sexuality was logical, it wouldn't cause so much trouble and drama. It's a very powerful, oftentimes non-logical energy. Pheromones are not logical. So we're going to clarify and keep going. Relevant past is the Six of Cups. So in the recent past, you connected with somebody who you felt maybe like a past life connection to. Perhaps it was somebody reconnecting that you knew in childhood, but it brought out within you a sense of generosity and innocence. But in this deck, if you see the masculine on the card is holding some kind of like weapon here. He's meeting innocence with fight. And I think that often happens when we try to logic our way out of things, because logic, love certainly is not logical. So even though we have this Six of Cups, this kind of possible like soul bond energy, you're very defensive to it. You want everything to fit nicely. It's like I think you're happy this cycle is ending. You want this cycle to end, and you're approaching the ending of a cycle as a way to reinvent yourself. And this is interesting. I just did Virgo's reading, and they were being very strategic about planning their future. I feel like you are also being very strategic, but it's coming off as a controlling energy. And this person in your relevant past brought up a lot of energies that you couldn't control. Possibly they were too wild and passionate, or they provoked within you wild, passionate energies that you felt were uncontrollable and upsetting. Possibly sexual energies, perhaps like a lot of lust mixed in with the generosity and the innocence that 6 of Cups implies. Exiting energy is 5 of Wands. Love to see that on the way out. Conflict, also change, unhealthy competition. That's on the way out. And your immediate future, Capricorn, is the Tower. All of that strategy, all of that control is for naught. And it very well might be because you're trying so hard to hold on that the Tower is in the immediate future. That being said, we must remember the star follows the Tower. So if you don't try to hold this Tower together by pure will, if you let it fall and you learn the lessons, the star comes afterwards. And your strengths, Capricorn, Page of Swords. Again, you're saying that it's your intellect that's your strength. You're not afraid to speak up for yourself. You're a fast thinker. Page of Swords can also be like a vigilant energy. You're very aware of what's going on around you. This is an interesting reading. In your environment, 10 of Swords. So, a painful ending. I think that this is very immediate, like now immediate, for the 10 of Swords to be showing up in your environment. Something with this 6 of Cups, something with this defensiveness, the control, the need to control, that caused the Tower to fall. It's like the 5 of Wands energy, the oppositional energy is on the way out, but not soon enough. It's like you realize too late. By the time you realized what was happening, it was too late to stop it. Subconsciously, on a subconscious level, you know this Tower is coming. Just like animals can sense an earthquake before humans can, your subconscious can sense this coming before your conscious mind can. So, if you're being honest with yourself, this is not going to be a complete surprise. Hopes and fears, Judgment. Hoping to restart. You're hoping that this ending is not an ending. You're hoping for renewal, for a second chance. You know, 6 of Cups relationships, they're special relationships. And maybe it was your first time experiencing a relationship of this kind. And so you were defensive. You're hoping that it's not over. Let's look at the outcome. 9 of Coins. So this is an independent energy, self-sufficiency, thriving, and freedom. I'm not sure how that relates to the 6 of Cups yet. We are going to clarify it. I'm seeing the bird on here, the owl. I think in the Wild Unknown deck, the King of Swords is an owl, and we have the King of Swords being your influencing energy. Definitely reading that as you, Capricorn. So when I look at this card, I'm kind of seeing that King of Swords being tamed into somebody who is able to use their serious analytical side, but they're able to temper it a little bit, find some balance. Because it's in balance that we find freedom. Okay, let's see. At the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. Wow. Divine love, growing feelings, could be a new relationship. With you being in the middle of this cycle ending, I feel like this person came in the middle of all of that chaos and you weren't prepared for it. Maybe if the timing had been different, you might have been able to react differently to it, not so combative. But because of the timing, it kind of seems like an issue of timing. Why is the World here for Capricorn? The world, the world, the world. This light is causing a glare on all of my cards. I'm trying to check them out. I feel like I'm having songs pop into my head today that are not relevant, and I can not really place them. Right about now, the funk soul brother, check it out now. I don't know, maybe that's helpful to somebody. Okay, the World is clarified by 6 of Wands and Ace of Wands. 7 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You're really looking forward to this cycle ending. You wanted this journey, this journey to end so you could begin a new one. Ace of Wands. And of course, things don't end like cut and dry. It's a process. It takes time. And I think that's what this Seven of Pentacles is showing, the perseverance of pushing through, because I think that even the world is a choice. Sometimes we don't have, sometimes it's not a choice, but sometimes it is. Like going back to old patterns that we told ourselves that we would move on from. You've decided you're not going back to old patterns, and you are keeping in mind all of the possibilities in your future. It's the passion driving you forward. You see success, you see yourself transforming and rising above, and that's pushing you through the difficulties that the world brings. I think that's not something that we talk about often enough, but it's important. I work at a nonprofit and have been doing webinars on, I'm shuffling for the Six of Swords, doing webinars on ethical storytelling. And so, you know, you've seen nonprofit marketing. You've seen well, I don't know how old you are, but like the Sarah McLachlan, in the arms of the angel, you know, and like the sad puppies, and we see the same thing happening with humans too. And I was listening to a webinar, and something that came up was like, we don't need to showcase these huge transformations, like somebody who beat addiction and brought themselves out of homelessness, and then they get featured in like news articles and social media campaigns and all of this, and then a year or two later maybe something happens, a tower falls and they relapse, and this story of success is now haunting them. Cycles are cyclical. What I'm trying to say is that this isn't a one-way road. Sometimes we dance back and forth over the threshold. Okay. Six of Swords, clarified by the Lovers. Seven of Cups. And Page of Swords. Yeah, again, the Lovers showed up at the wrong time. And you're looking towards the future, a blank slate, a blank canvas. I think it might be Mary Oliver, but there's a quote, when nothing is sure, everything is possible. That used to be one of my favorite quotes. It still is. But the counterpart is, the counterpoint is that once you choose something, then your possibilities decrease. When nothing is sure, everything is possible. Once you choose a path, other pathways close off. So, and the Lovers, of course, a choice. Who do you want in this boat with you, moving on to calmer waters? Do you want this lover with you? If you make this choice, will your other dreams disappear? Will they take your freedom from you? Everything that you've worked for, is it going to disappear because you made the choice of the lovers? And again, approaching it from a place of intellect. Page of Swords. Influencing energy is the King of Swords. Why is the King of Swords here? Why is the King of Swords here? Tell me about the King of Swords for Capricorn, please. Okay. Queen of Wands. Two of Cups. Okay. And then Two of Pentacles. So we finally have your lover. That was so tone deaf. Showing up. You. King of Swords. I think I mentioned I'm always going to point out that because, I'm a Leo, so Queen of Wands. You, driven by logic, your other person, driven by passion. In a Two of Cups kind of soul bond relationship, soulmate relationship, interesting. Influencing and juggling I think all of the options. The other part of when nothing is sure, everything is possible, is like, how long are you going to live? Yes, part of that is the freedom of all of the possibilities, but eventually you have to make a choice, because otherwise you just sit there living in this castle in the sky where everything is possible, but nothing ever actually happens. And that's what you're juggling right now. In some ways, I feel like you've already made the choice for the Two of Cups to show up here. Maybe though it's your mind at work, you keep overthinking it. You're like, I'm a bird, I can't be with a snake. For whatever reason, I'm not sure that you see this as a match. Never thought about it though. Snakes and birds lay eggs. So the influencing energy is one of a soul bond and difference, your logic driving it. But it's like relentlessly, emotion keeps showing up. I saw peeking underneath the King of Swords, who, yes, he is. Yeah, look, these guys, they look quite similar, don't they? So I wanted to peek at what other cards were here. And we have Strength, the Tower, and then King of Swords. So it's like you're juggling but you do have the strength to get through this Tower that's coming up. Maybe you are dealing with a Leo, because strength is the Leo card, wands, fire signs, and this lion has one of the roses from the Two of Cups. You can see it. He's got one of the roses in his mouth that looks like the Two of Cups. And then somewhere, oh, King of Swords. All right. Relevant past is the Six of Cups. I don't know why this reading is taking so long, Capricorn. I'm sorry for that. I'm going at the pace that feels correct. That's all I can say to you. Six of Cups. Why is the Six of Cups here for Capricorn? Tell me about the Six of Cups for Capricorn. I said I felt like you were defensive about the Six of Cups, and this shuffling does not feel like it's going to end anytime soon. It's almost like you don't want to look at this, but at the same time, we have Judgment in your hopes and fears, like you're hoping for a renewal. Maybe you're afraid to look at that hope. Maybe your fear is your hope. Like you believe it's over. You believe the Ten of Swords are in it. It's done. Why is the Six of Cups here for Capricorn, please? I just said I don't know why this is taking so long. Maybe that's why it's taking so long to shuffle. Just gonna be patient, Capricorn. Be patient. I'm a fire sign. Patience is not my strength. Unfortunately for all of us, I don't take flyers. Why is the Six of Cups here? Why is the Six of Cups here for Capricorn? Tell me about the Six of Cups for Capricorn. The Hanged Man. Seriously? The Tower. And Five of Wands. Five of Wands is your exiting energy. That's also showing up as clarifying your relevant past. This is a lot of towers, man. To have a tower in your past and one coming up. You might, this tower coming up might, like, you might have consciously gone into the Hangman wanting that new perspective, wanting to pause. And you might have gotten yourself stuck there. You might have forgotten that you're a bat who can fly. This situation shook you up. There is already, that explains, I guess, this Ten of Swords. I was wondering how the Ten of Swords is the current environment, but the future is the Tower. But you had a tower in the past, and so you paused. You're letting go of the combative energy, but you're stuck. And so the universe is stepping in to shake things up, like it or not. Like it or not. Whew. Why is the Five of Wands and the exiting energy? No wonder that took so long to shuffle. That was a lot of energy coming out in that relevant past. The Tower and the Hanged Man. Oh, over the Six of Cups. You gotta stop overthinking. Capricorn. That's what I'm getting here. You have to stop overthinking. I am thinking of something I saw on Instagram, I think, and it's a screen grab from a movie, and I don't know what movie it's from, but it's a couple, and the guy says to the girl, "Why are you so sad?" And she said, "Because you talk to me with words and I talk to you with feelings," or something like that. Five of Wands clarified by the Chariot, and Page of Swords, and Four of Wands. There was a lot of potential here. Things were moving maybe too quickly. Maybe that's what scared you, is like you're ending a cycle, ending a really big phase of your life. And then this passion comes rushing in, and your intellect tells you this does not make logical sense. I think you caused this tower, Capricorn, or at least influenced it. And I think this one's the universe stepping in. It's like you could see the Four of Wands in your future and maybe even hoped for it. And again, like I said, you feared your hope. That's what I said right now. You're still fearing your hope. It's your hope that you fear. And it's, whoo, this is coming back around. The universe is giving you another chance. And it's up to you. Do you let your fear win or your hope win? I do believe Capricorn in reverse roles is needed, but I do believe that you instigated this tower. I think regretted that. And this tower is coming around to restart the cycle. Why is the tower here in the immediate future? Why is the tower here in the immediate future? A bird and a snake? Those don't belong together. Stranger things have happened, Capricorn. You're a sea goat, for God's sake. Seven of Wands, Three of Cups, Five of Cups. This immediate future energy, I think, is going to have, it might take a while for the aftermath to settle. I think at first you're going to be a little bit defensive, then maybe a little bit self-pitying, which is fair. Your tower just crumbled. You're allowed a little bit of self-pity. But ultimately, there is the possibility of communication. I think this is saying, if it was indeed you, Capricorn, who instigated this tower, this ending, I think what this card is saying is that communication is possible, and that the Queen of Wands is going to be receptive to your communications. And you can kind of see like the color backgrounds on these are very similar. So if you decide, once you work through your logic, once you work through your defensiveness, once you work through your self-pity, all of them, that's not an accusation. Those are very human emotions. I've had towers fall and I was very self-pitying. We're allowed to have that and be that and do that. But once the dust settles, if you want, you can communicate, and it does look like it will be you'll be heard. And your strengths is the Page of Swords. Why is the Page of Swords here? Why is the Page of Swords here for Capricorn, please? Sorry, I keep touching this because I have something loading on my computer and this screen has to stay on. So I'm just keeping it on. I think it turned off now. Well, hopefully I don't have to restart that too. Okay. The Sun. Vitality and happiness. 10 of Pentacles and the Empress. Okay. I needed to pause because I don't know that this has ever happened to me in a reading. And I was trying to think of other ways to put it. I'm just going to put it the way that I am reading it, which is interesting. I don't know that I've ever seen this before. I'm showing an energy that's not yours showing up in your strengths. It's like I'm seeing these three cards together. The Sun, the Queen of Wands, the Empress. And the Ten of Pentacles building with that energy is your strength. That's how I am reading it, and I'm not sure how to interpret that. In collaborating and building with others, you find strengths that you didn't know that you had. Seeing yourself through other people's eyes shows you aspects of yourself that you haven't recognized before. Interesting. And again, I'm looking at this Page of Swords who's like, I mean, if you look at the imagery on these cards, you have the Six of Cups, which is like a loving, innocent relationship, and he's got a weapon. And then you look at this Page of Swords, and the page has got his sword like off to the side, and he's chasing a butterfly. It's like exploring different aspects. That might be that might also be why you instigated this tower. The Queen of Wands showed you different aspects of yourself, and suddenly the possibilities multiplied and maybe became just too much. Seeing all of these potential avenues, like, it just became too much. And I can relate to that. I have ADHD, and if I go to the grocery store and I look at all of the tomato sauces, it's just too freaking much. And I get overwhelmed. And I have left the grocery store crying before because I just got so overwhelmed. To be fair, it was in Spain, and I went there and I didn't realize they don't keep the eggs in the refrigerated department. They don't keep the milk in the refrigerated department. It was just way too much. It was way overwhelming, and I had to get out of there. And I feel like I keep saying your fears are your hopes. And it's like, to have this other energy showing up in your strengths, another song, this one I think might fit, it's Dashboard Confessional. I am seeing in me now the things you swore you saw yourself. Okay, well, we've got to leave that there. We got to move on. We still got quite a bit. We're getting there. Environment, Ten of Swords. Why is the Ten of Swords here for Capricorn? Why is the Ten of Swords here for Capricorn? Nope. Sorry, I thought I was done. I'm not done. Of course not. Now I'm done. Okay. The Moon. Temperance. And the Devil. You again. Well, you might be in the Hanged Man mode, but you are obsessing over this. And you are trying to find balance between your head and your heart. So to that extent, you are at least slightly aware of your hopes for a renewal. But to have the Moon showing up is a little bit worrying. And again, I think that's why the Tower is in your immediate future. It's like the universe stepping in and saying, we got to get this out in the open. But this ending, which doesn't actually seem to be an ending unless you choose for it to be, if you choose not to communicate. All that aside, it has caused you to seek balance. And you're actively seeking balance now. But you are obsessing. And I think you might be dealing with a Leo, because we have the Leo showing up. We have Capricorn and Leo side by side. Doesn't have to be. Of course. Could just be somebody who has those qualities, those fiery, passionate qualities. The moon does concern me, but with the Tower coming out, what's hidden under the moon won't be for long. Okay, hopes and fears, judgment. Why is judgment here, please? Why is judgment here for Capricorn? We had, if I recall, at the bottom of the deck when we first started was the Devil. We have the Devil at the bottom of the deck clarifying the environment, and then we pulled that sexuality card. It might just be, this might have started as a physical attraction, a sexual attraction, and then when it developed into something more that was a little overwhelming. Okay, hopes and fears. We have judgment clarified by judgment. And 8 of Pentacles. And then at the bottom of the deck is 3 of Swords. So this ending, it did cause you to put things under your moon. And it caused you heartbreak. You might have instigated it, but it hurt to do. And I think that's why we get this coming around, this second chance. And then we just have judgment clarified by judgment. The 8 of Pentacles is like, again, I kind of worry about that showing up as like, yes, it can be mastery, dedicated practice. It might be a little bit of that control, wanting to control outcomes. But when we're dealing with other people, we can't control outcomes. In your final outcome, we have the 9 of Coins. I do find it, maybe it's because I have decks with animals and with humans, or I don't know why, but I'm just drawn to like the King of Swords resting on her shoulders. And even though 9 of Pentacles can be a card of independence, we have two, which is more than one. Math. All right, let's see what clarifies this. The High Priestess and 9 of Coins. Four of Cups at the bottom. Capricorn, I do have to say, it does look, at least right now, that you are choosing independence, not choosing to communicate, but that does lead to feelings of disconnection. And I think that the High Priestess is popping up to tell you to think carefully, is this the choice that I want? I have to say, I am a little confused by the outcome. Nine of Pentacles shown up twice with the High Priestess, which would say that you are happily choosing independence, but then we have the Four of Cups, and on this card I'm just drawn to the two-ness. I'm not sure that I can tell what the outcome is. Underneath the Four of Cups is the Fool, a new beginning. And then, not to just keep going and going, but underneath that is you, the Devil again. I think the outcome is just a little bit hard to tell because the immediate future is already so in flux with this Tower falling, and then will you choose to communicate or not? And so with this choice in flux, it's hard to see where the ultimate outcome is going to be. But keep checking in with your intuition. We're going to get 3 cards and a bottom card, advice from the universe. And then we'll close it out with one final oracle card. Okay. 3 cards of advice. The Queen of Swords. You're viewing this other person as so different from you, right? Bird and snake. How this doesn't make logical sense. Consider that we are multifaceted and that, you know, this passionate individual, male or female that you're dealing with, also, you know, she might lead with passion, but she also has an objective, logical side. And maybe you're not so different as you think you are. King of Pentacles. Prosperity, very protective, very sensual. which is another aspect of sexuality, right? Sensuality and sexuality go together. And again, like allowing for people, including yourself, to be multifaceted. The Queen of Wands also has aspects of Queen of Swords. We did see her showing up as the Empress, which has all 4 queens. We have you showing up as the King of Swords, but you can also cultivate King of Pentacles aspects within yourself. Somebody who is resource driven and stable can also be highly sensual. And then Ace of Wands, that's showing up in your current, clarifying your current situation. And it's showing up in your advice as well. Follow your excitement. Don't talk yourself out of your excitement. And at the bottom of the deck, the Magician. You're manifesting the life that you have. We all do. There's somebody I've heard say, like, if you are confused about where you are now, look back to your actions 90 days ago. Whether we want to say it or not, we all manifest our reality, and not making a choice is a choice, which brings me back to that idea: when nothing is sure, everything is possible. And if you have to make a choice, and if you don't make a choice, that's kind of a stagnancy, stagnation. What a big read, Capricorn. One final card. This is the Woodland Wardens. I mean, I feel for you. You're in the middle of the world ending, and a new world beginning, and it's hard enough to navigate by yourself. And now suddenly there's another person in the mix, possibly unexpected. The Owl and Hop, Wisdom. $22. One card beyond the world, which is 21. Okay. Owls are closely associated with Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom. Known for their nocturnal vision, owls represent knowledge and erudition with a hint of mystery. The hop is an impressive plant able to climb up to 20 feet in a single growing season. Combined, the pair indicates spiritual and intellectual fulfillment. You have come to the end of a long journey. Relish in your achievement, taking deep, satisfying breaths. 2 questions. Am I content? And if I've reached a state of fulfillment, am I willing to humble myself and try something new? Interesting. I think that knowledge and erudition show up, and we have another owl showing up, which I don't always notice the owl, but in this reading I was definitely noticing the owl a lot. At the very least, Capricorn, you're at a very exciting point in your life, starting a new cycle, possibly. I hope that helped. I'll see you next time.